gas prices in Manitoba are some of the highest that we've seen in years. It's all I heard about on the doors and at the community halls these past few weeks through Easter. In a country as large as Canada, driving is often a necessity and not a choice, especially in the rural regions that I represent. Earlier this month, the ongoing war in Iran forced Canadians to watch the price of gas skyrocket. Canadians would be forgiven for thinking that these out-of-control prices are hitting our neighbors just the same. As the Liberals often say, it is a global crisis. But that isn't the reality. In fact, on April 1st, Americans were paying 20 cents less for a litre of gas than we do here in Canada. So how does the Liberal government explain that? When challenges arise, Canadians seem to be the worst off in the G7. Well, the answer is simple, Mr. Speaker. The Liberals can't, but Conservatives can. Today, 4 Liberal taxes on Canadian fuel are responsible for this massive gap between Canada and our closest allies' prices. Regardless of an announcement this morning, the Liberal government currently imposes 1. Their fuel excise tax, which costs Canadians 10 cents on every litre of gas they buy. 2. The carbon tax, which they've simply renamed their fuel standard and adds another 7 cents a litre. 3. The goods and services tax, or GST, that applies to gas and diesel, adding 8 more cents to each litre of fuel. And finally, number 4, the industrial carbon tax, which will rise to $170 per tonne, with projections showing a loss of 50,000 jobs and our economy shrinking by 1.3% as a result. Combined, these 4 taxes add 25 cents on every litre of gasoline and 21 cents on each litre of diesel fuel that Canadians buy. Each of these taxes adds up quickly at the gas station, but with higher prices already in existence before these price shocks have come into effect, Canadians feel even more pressure. And all that is in addition to the Liberals' destructive record with Canada's oil and gas sector, which I'm proud to represent the Manitoba component of. They talk about resilience to world factors in global pricing. If they had allowed pipelines to be built and we were refining more of our oil in this country 10 years ago, Canada would have been more resilient to a global conflict that affects the world's price of oil and gas. Unfortunately, they were too short-sighted and stood in the way of those major nation-building infrastructure projects that were underway under Conservatives, and now Canadians are literally paying the price for it. As His Majesty's loyal opposition, Conservatives have put forward legislation in this motion that benefits the Canadians whose hardships have been for too long ignored by the Liberals. And that is why I am proud to support this Conservative motion today, which would remove the fuel excise tax and the GST on gasoline and diesel until the end of 2026, not just until September, as the Liberals have suggested. And our motion goes further, calling for the removal of the fuel standard and the industrial carbon tax permanently.